How's Brownie?
I'd like to give you the absolute answer, but don't know. So he's in a boot at the moment. Wait to assess on Monday. About the extent of it, I'm not about to predict medically what he will or won't be. So we'll have to wait and see.
Do you think he'll play up? Sorry, stay again.
Sorry, it is the plantar fascia.
Yeah. So they're not the world's worst injury, but we just have to wait and see just how long that's going to leave him out for.
Do you think he'll play next year?
I haven't speculated all year, so I'm not about to now. So have you shot him already, have you? Or?
It said may and could.
Okay.
Right. No. But I suppose you must be proud of the way the boys responded after that, seeing the captain go down like that, and then just supposed to hold all St Kilda and still win the game. Yeah, well, we've been about being able to create opportunities all year, and we've put we've backed in players to build our flexibility in our team, and so that seems to be coming along all right. And we haven't had some experience out there the last 3 weeks. Brandy went down earlier, Maloney's been missing, Blackie hasn't played. So to be able to see some of our younger group step up and have to organise and communicate and set the standard and run hard, that's pleasing. I'll walk away from that and sort of go, well, as a coach, we're still progressing, and there's still some really good signs from some of those players. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're building your depth in your midfield, particularly, possibly, especially in the absence of obviously?
Absolutely. I think Rainsey's the oldest in that group. So the core nucleus is still growing and will continue to grow. Certainly adding guys in one at a time. We don't have to, overhaul everything. It's adding in one at a time. And there's still a lot of things we've got to work on with that group. But to see, guys like Harwood, Doherty, Clark in our back line. I mean, there's certainly the latter three are about 19, 20 years of age. So they're holding down the fort there, and then you're adding in Mays in around the middle of the ground, and as well as Green in small spurts. So to see that come along was good. And Roe Buick, I thought gave us a real lift when he came on for Brownie. He sort of certainly provided a lot of run for us. So and connected us through the middle of the ground. So there is some pleasing signs for the group. We've just got to string it together a bit longer, maybe a bit tidier. Free kicks are still a problem for us, so we've got to continue to work on that. Whether it's just fatigue, tiredness, lazy, I don't know what it is. So we've just got to continue to reinforce that with our players as well as umpires.
Is Tom Rockcliffe in better form now, possibly, than he was when his best and fairest year, do you think? Because 39 touches, 6 clearances, it's been a solid 3 or 4 weeks. It's really been outstanding in filling the void left by Blackie. Yeah, his last month's been consistent. I think Tom is a good example. I think it was probably for about a month there. We're playing Leicester and Co in the middle of the ground, and he stepped out of that midfield for a little while for others to be able to come into that. So he really bought into that, the ability to be able to spread the load and grow our midfield depth, and so that's fantastic for Rock. And then he's obviously come back into the midfield and is winning a fair bit of footy and leading us through that area of the ground. So, Rock is certainly one player that's been in good form. I think there's been a few others that have been playing pretty well too. And, I guess the last quarter I was probably more particularly impressed with our group. They're rather nullify, a bit closer to the way we want our midfield group to operate, rather than sort of bit, they've got it, we've got it, and, the way it rolls.
My question a bit though, Vossy, how important is Rocky to your overall group? I mean, how important is his return to the middle a factor into the real improvement in your side in the last month or so?
Oh, probably one of them. To assign it to one, it's like we always sit here and say to Brownie, I think assigning it to one thing is not fair. It's been one of the reasons. So our whole group have been educating about taking ownership of the group. We're getting more of that. We're not getting it to where we want it to be just yet, but we're still growing as a group. So you have to put a little bit of context and reality. So, but yeah, certainly it's been one of them, that's for sure. And Jack's been, pretty consistent over a period of time. Richie's still working through things with him, and he's sort of taking that on and taking on that challenge. Louis been good. Again, I could sort of probably go through individuals, but collectively I know that nothing changes if it's just one person. It has to be everyone has to move forward one step, and fortunately we've been able to do that.
Good to see Chris McGrath go forward, kick his first goal for the club.
Yep.
Might we see a bit more of him up forward?
Yeah, it was a pretty good goal, wasn't it? So I think he steamrolled someone. I'm not too sure who that was, but yeah, it was a good finish. We needed it. So he went forward, had to become a bit makeshift for us just for another target up forward. Obviously, Stanley going down forced our hand a little bit in terms of size. So we just reshaped our team a little bit. So for him to finish off the game, well, it was good. So we'll pump him up there, and then he just reminded us why he plays in defence for the 35-metre shot, not making the distance. So, you know, yeah, so a pump, but at the same time, just easy boy.
You didn't have to ad-lib too much with Brown not being there for a while. Merritt and Staker still leads the forward line pretty well.
I just think it's an opportunity. You know, as much as we can focus on not having our skipper, he's an important figure. You guys will talk about that. But our team has to improve by everyone being able to step up. And the more that take ownership of this group, the more we'll continue to move forward. And Brownie becomes more the cream on top rather than have to drive it all himself. So whether he's not there for a week, whether he's not there for 3 weeks, whether it's the season, I can't tell at this stage what it is. But I just think it's a great opportunity for us to be able to, if we don't have Brownie, go to the MCG, playing against a good footy team. The crowd's going to be out in full force, and it's an important game for us. So the occasion for our group, we've got to move forward pretty quickly because there is a good opportunity ahead of us.
That'd be likely to give one of your young guys a chance in Brownie's boots if he doesn't come up.
Yeah, well, Steph Martin played. He's probably he played, so he's back playing. Geordie Lyle's been going all right. So yeah, there'd be no problem for us to be able to throw it to someone else.
How are Brownie's spirits after this possible?
Brownie is one of the most resilient blokes and toughest blokes that I've ever met. I reckon he's okay. He'd be disappointed because he's seen the group and he's seen it move, so he obviously wants to share in that. So he'd be disappointed in that regard. But again, let's sort of wait until I can actually tell you categorically what's going on.
Will they have scans, Mossy, tomorrow or Monday? Or, you know,
I would have thought Monday. Yeah. All right, cheers. Thanks.